The reason why I'm a little bit skeptical is like you have Doom into an Undying lane with Clinks playing behind you. That's pretty scary. Invoker naturally will farm relatively well against Pangolier. And then Snapfire Little Shredder is so potent that I don't know if CK can really step up into the lane and be super aggressive because the Warlock is relatively passive of a laner. And when I say passive, it's more like you press Fatal Bonds, that does the damage for you, and then you step back. Like you're not a Witch Doctor with multiple spells or like control. So that's why I'm a little bit leaning gaming. But again, we'll have to wait and see, as we do have a full essay for whatever the Invoker facet was there.
Elitist is not as exciting as it makes out, as we do have a jump here already. Ace in some trouble, drops the thirst, the Blood Right, but that's not going to save his life here. Will just go down, but it is Januel that draws first blood, so, I mean, only so much value to be gained from that, but still good. 3 bounty runes will go the way of Gaimin Gladiators as well.
Yeah, Januel's not going to complain there, of course. I think we've kind
Black
of summarized
Grimoire already getting a charge on it. That's huge.
Yeah. So
that's all that matters.
There's Warlock has, of course, based on his regens, it does more damage for his other facet. But with the Black Grimoire, there is a logic behind if your team can play aggressive, popping that really early to get that level 6 before other people, or not even level 6, but just to kind of progress your levels, it can overwhelm in certain fights. So I'm interested to see the kind of the logic Januel brings. I know, for example, in Western Europe, Kadaro did bring a slightly different play to it. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see if that's going to be done or not. Definitely some interesting facets coming out in this one. I don't think I've seen this Undying one very often, the ripped one.
Oh, yes, gives the strength. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Strength up your allies, makes sense. And we're going to be getting the Quas Wex Invoker today, so no big Sunstrikes coming down anytime soon. But, you know, makes sense. When you're playing against the Pangolier, you want to be able to make sure you've got that option available to you. It's down the bottom side. Gabby chased back pretty damn far. I'm surprised at how well they're trading down here. Celery and Duraccio, it's actually, now that I kind of look at it, it makes a lot of sense. You've got the constant harassment of the Clinks with a constant health lowering of the Undying. It does look to be really difficult for Gabby and Tims to play into. Tims will heal himself back up and just try and harass back into Celery here. Nice job with that Acorn shot, plus a Bushwhack as well. Getting the Undying really low and forcing him out. He's also kind of out of mana. Oh, I say that. He's got 4. He's got 5 mangoes. My man is mangoed up right now. He's got a mango addiction. Jesus. Ouch. Okay. Tims is not chilling in this lane. Demanding everybody knows that he is the harasser. Over towards the mid. It's just a trade at the moment. I'm really not sure how this lane is going to go down. I feel like... Ooh, nice try on the deny there, but not quite working out for Quinn. Yeah, I do feel like Invoker should start to take over this lane. Oswex Invoker is just annoying.
Yeah, I'd say that's the best way of avoiding it, right? He didn't go for the Exalt build, he's gone for Quaswex. It will enable him to, potentially go for that Vessel early. And when we talk about pacing of the game, Quaswex is much quicker than an Exalt Invoker, but an Exalt can be quick in its own rights if you have simple kill threat, right? And I think Gaimin just want to play for more tempo rather than the slower side lane kills, and we'll see how quick Quinn can make this game for them, because that's what I expect to see from these heroes. And so far, looking at the CS, they're looking pretty healthy, right? Like the offlane Bloodseeker sitting at top CS, not really getting pressured at all, and again, it's simply a product of the Warlock.
Good harassment coming out from Arbet though. Utilizing the fact that the, whoa, Celery down in the bottom lane, yeah, is going to be falling here. Duracho trying to trade up into these two, but can't quite do so. The Tim's harassment, it never stops and it never ends.
It doesn't really help that Celery, you look at his inventory, he just completed the stick, so he never had the value of soaking up free charges from the Acorn Shot spam or the Devours, and he only had 3 mangoes, so yeah. Being level 2, no stick, he is kind of susceptible to dying, and yeah, he does go down.
4 minutes in, 2 kills to Blacklist so far. CS looking a little better for Gaimin, which evens things out, but they're going to go on to Ratio down here in the bottom side, and he is just dead. Right click's coming through. Tims and Gabby will have enough in the tank. And that's going to be another kill down here for these two. I started to question whether this lane would actually work out for them, whether we would see this Hoodwink completely owned like she tends to in lane, and well, I was wrong to ever question it.
Yeah, I take it back. I'm sorry, Blacklist. I kind of expected Undying to be a little bit stronger, but maybe Celery's starting items, his trajectory into the lane, the level deficit plus kills has given Blacklist all the life they need in this lane. Gabby has consistently been a very, very strong offlaner, I feel. Like I don't think he gets as much respect as he deserves. Like, some of his games have been absolutely stellar.
Yeah, and his success is kind of the team's success. If he has a good lane, they know exactly what to do in the game. They know who to play around. They can just leave the other two and go and make things happen. I feel like if I want anybody to have a good game on the side of Blacklist, then it is Gabby. A good start for them, for sure. Top side has been really quiet, which I think is kind of what you want, especially when your Bloodseeker has this much CS. So, yeah. Great start for Gaimin up here.
I'm happy we haven't really looked at it, to be fair.
To base.
Also, I'm a big fan of this little kind of mid-lane summary. It's quite delightful, but you can see here Quinn has the 11 CS advantage. No kills either side, but was able to get to level 6. Abed's still not level 6 himself. And this is normally a window where that 6 active rune with a Pangolier can be quite a disruptive time, but Gaming already here. Both supports coming mid. Of course, Pangolier was back in base. I think luckily for Blacklist, it was only a shield rune. If this was maybe like a DD or something, then you could argue this is walking towards back to mid, utilizing his catapult, maybe chipping down the tower just a little bit, but yeah, nice general map movements from Gaimin.
Being chased here, Rolling Thunder being used by Abed as well, the first ulti of the game used to try and secure this kill. Onto Undying, but a little awkward there, as Celery just finding the right spot, but luckily Tim still has his spells available and will be able to blow up this Undying regardless.
But did he die though? That's the real question, because he's still alive on my screen.
Yes, he did. Undying players, please stop feeding and saying, it doesn't matter, I got Zeus's dead, it's fine.
It was 3 seconds on cooldown, and to be fair, I think Celery's probably quite upset that he died in that exact moment, because it's like, do you really want your first usage of this to be just a random cheap kill, right? Like, you kind of want to have some like TP and map value from it, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. It was used, and we are seeing both wisdom rooms, shared between the two teams 1-to-1.
Dude, look at Quinn just get busy on this tower. He is using the shield rune to tank every single tower hit, keep his catapult alive, give time for his creep wave to come in and also help take this tower. So yeah, even trading a lot of his health as well. But of course, you're Invoker, you've got Quas, you can lifesteal your way back up to health. Abed can't really do a whole lot about this siege creep. It's just going to lose most of its tower's HP from this.
Celery. Wait, where you going, boss?
Down on the bottom side, Duratio, nice usage there off the engulfing step to get himself away. That, of course, does allow you to teleport to your death pact targets and makes you very elusive indeed on this Clinks in the right situation, as Januel now getting ruptured up on the top side. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Yeah, the heals will make this annoying, but Ace is still going to be able to run him down, and this Bloodseeker is having a phenomenal game so far.
Yeah, you can already see the kind of the pacing Gaming are trying to set right there. They're sacking their Clinks, they're accepting that he's going to be by himself, hope that pre-Doom he's able to make the plays with that facet, and then you bring the supports to top. And Quinn's constantly poking down this Pangolier. We are not seeing Pangolier ever make a TP rotation, ever make a move, and Natsumi already at 8 minutes in is having to play deep into the jungle. And it all is because Duratio is just soaking everything, yeah.
They are going to be able to find the gap close onto Duratio, but Tofu jumps in, just blasts away at Tims. Tims having to run himself away. Duratio thought he might be able to survive, but Abed comes in and makes sure he does go down, and now looks to help Gabby get his kill to Tofu as well. Tofu is gone. Gaimin, sloppy fight from them. They thought they could find a couple of kills out of this, but they can't. And now Quinn's under tower, and Blacklist, well, they're thinking about it. In fact, they're doing more than thinking about it. They're jumping in, but the Tombstone is down. But Januel from the side with the chaotic offering as well. Tombstone is down. Tim's desperately trying to kill it off. Will be able to do so, which allows Blacklist to back themselves away. But do they even want to back away? Quinn is so low on the side here, but Down goes the Decay, and now he hits level 6, uses a Flesh Golem to get on top of Januel. Januel falls as well. It's Golem on Golem action here as Celery has to back himself away from...
Here's the
Damn. Flesh Golem got hands.
Blacklist, they're kind of reading Gaimin quite nicely here. They understand that the Clinks is being left by himself, right? Like, to make all these moves, someone has to be sacrificial in their play. Often the role that Duracho does fill for Gaimin, and they identify that nicely. They pressure him bottom, they bring the numbers. Ace the entire time, he had TP, but he was actually on the tower. He was playing into the Chaos Knight rather than TPing to bottom engagement. Of course, he doesn't have the ATOS complete yet, but you can see that Gaimin just... They're willing to let a player just fully farm up whilst they try and, salvage the aggression. And little Celery here, quite a chipper, happy little support.
He chose to go down with that Golem, accepted the duel.
And we did see on screen, Blacklist did smoke to top in the hope to kill Bloodseeker, who has been free farming top lane. But Ace reads it quite nicely. He disengaged back to his triangle and boom, picks up the Midas. Gabby, 10-minute Midas now. Will start trying to accelerate his game. Of course, this is a very, very good Shiva's game due to the Bloodseeker being in it, just the natural attack slows in play. Even the Magic Camp for heroes like Hoodwink or Warlock will benefit from the Doom buying it. Yeah, not opposed to him going for the Midas. Blacklist, they aren't meant to be winning the game in the next 15-20 minutes. It really is a draft for like the second or third Roshan for them. Greed it up, ensure that you're still in fighting shape, but yeah, a much better start to the game than I expected. I really expected Blacklist to struggle just a little bit more. But again, this Doom lane has brought so much to their early game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's proven the strength of the hero. Definitely not AFK, definitely getting involved, utilizing the early Dooms really well as well. So far so good for Gabby, but the map is starting to get a little smaller for Blacklist as Gaimin make their way across. They see Januel going for a D-ward and having absolutely none of it, but Tim's pops the smoke. Nice usage here off the Scurry as now actually gets the two-man bushwhack. Kiss is coming across as well, but what's it really going to do? They'll move on to the Invoker. Natsumi turns up and blows up Quinn. Quinn is gone as Arbed comes rolling through onto the backlands here. Tofu trying to stand his ground, but just cannot. He is dead. Bloodseeker gone as well. It's a massacre. Sure, they do get the Chaos Knight on the side. Duracho finds an entry to the fight to get a cheeky kill on the backlines, but 3 big targets dead on the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
I mean, they're running heroes in, but they're just not online yet. I think Gaimin, they're jumping the gun just a little bit with their aggression, right? Like, they're just not in position. They're running head on into a Golem, into a Doom, and it just isn't to be the case.
Look
like
at this from him.
Like, it's of course a perfect bushwhack into then Golem, and at this point it's not a fight at all, and you just got to run away. And you can see from the minimap, Duracho, he was entering the fight extremely late. Sure, he gets the CK kill, but Gaming, they need to be careful.
Looking for a bit of revenge onto Tim's here, but once again going giga deep for this kill, but with the Spirit Vessel should just be able to bring him down. Spirit Vessel plus Cold Snap. One more right click comes through, and down goes that pesky squirrel.
This could just be the game from Gaming where it's like, they're on a treadmill at like 1,000,000 miles per hour and they just keep going forward, right? Like they are just, they die, doesn't matter, go again. They don't have the spells.
Yeah, that's what it's feeling like right now. Duracho just stalking Gabby. Gabby going for the TP out.
Tornado
will not be there in time. Neither will the Cookie. Gabby gets away and gives him a voice line whilst he's at it.
This will open up the tower, and Duracho, he just completed his Desolator. So the way in which Gaming is playing, it's very relentless. But this Deso will be able to convert on the objectives. Roshan towers, of course, helping out in kills. That is one of the kind of nice revelations I think people found against Pangolier was beforehand it was always lock him down during roll, and then in the last like half a year to a year, people were like, wait a second, just pick a ranged hero and kill him. Right, like TA become a big counter, Terrorblade, of course, Clinks as well. It's kind of comedic that it took a little bit of time. Window as well, yeah. It took a bit of time to get there because everyone was always like, pick Bane, pick Warlock, pick Bloodseeker.
Yeah, Grimstroke.
Yeah, Grimstroke as well.
People were very into the stop him rolling, but kill him. That's now the logic as Quinn getting jumped once again by Tims. Tims being very annoying here. Silence out onto the Invoker as well, forcing him back. Blacklist, though, they've brought everybody to the bottom side of the map and haven't really done anything with it. All they've done is extinguish Gaimin, and during this whole time, Dracho was never actually in this engagement, so he's still getting a lot out of the map. This is going to be a slightly costly defense for Blacklist here, but they're going to try and make something from it. I'll go for the smoke and look forward for more.
I mean, it is a good window, right, for Gaimin to be aggressive. When we see Natsumi, he has his armlet, he has the Oblivion stuff, like, it's pre-Orchid.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some poking. Quinn breaking smokes.
Yeah, so they were smoked up on 3 of them, and then Hoodwink went forward and dewarded as a bait just by himself.
Celery, come on.
Oh, man. Don't worry, Ceaseless Dirge is available. This is fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Back he comes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
See, any good Undying player these days knows that if Ceaseless Dirge is off cooldown, then if you're not dying, then you know it's just inefficient.
Go get some valuable information. You scuffed a little Wraith King. Does feel like there's a little bit of hesitation in Gaimin's play, right? Like they were happy to go super aggressive, but now they know that Golem and Doom's back up again. They are, taking a step back. It's not as if Gaimin have itemized to deal with this, abundance of teamfight that Blacklist can bring in the mid game.
Ace, we'll see Gabby here. Gabby has a TP available. We'll be using it, and no cancels available. The TP in was from Celery, who wouldn't have had a stun anyway, so wasn't going to be there in time. Quinn was kind of nearby, but yeah, it started a little early on the Bloodseeker, sadly.
I haven't really mentioned it as well, but big fan of Arbed going for the Orchid. I think this is one of my favorite builds for Pangler. I know Echo Saber Harpoon is super high value as well, but just having an early Orchid, it just really prevents that certain hero stepping up to the fight. Like, how can an Invoker free-cast his spells when the roll comes in and you just get clipped by an Orchid? Or how does the Snapfire get off Mortimer Kisses? Same thing. I think this is a really, really high value item if you can get a hero buying it quick enough, and Pangolier at the moment is one of those heroes. Blacklist, they're smoked up. They want to be the aggressors. They understand that Gaimin have took a foot off the gas, have really kind of sat back into the game. And
smoke revealed. Gabby, dust is out. Doom is there. Quinn in trouble. He's got to back himself away. Celery will be able to sacrifice as he gets beaten down by the Chaos Knight. Tofu letting these kisses go and getting a decent amount of damage off onto Natsumi and Gabby, but Gabby just healing himself right the way up again. Januel's here as well with the Shadow Word, so doesn't really matter. Blacklist taking the win here and going for the tier 1. But now that Doom is on cooldown, is this going to be the brakes taken off for Gaimin, or do they really want that Golem as well?
It's difficult, right? Like, this is a state of the game that I didn't expect Blacklist to get to so quickly, right? I expected them maybe to hit this stride, maybe to minute 25, but they've been able to, execute on their lineup so much earlier. And
Arbed is going to be the target now. He's got nothing to get out of this. The Golem does come down, and in comes Natsumi from the side, but the silence is there to help Dracho get himself away, and Arbed does fall. The Golem as well might be in some trouble here. They're just trying to finish off Januel's friend, and they will. No Doom, no Golem. I think we're about to see some pace coming out for Gaimin now.
It's just constantly the way, like, the Gaimin sits back for a second, they find a hero, and Blacklist, they need to be careful. One wasted Golem, one wasted Doom. Of course, Gaming are going to ramp up the aggression after that, and the Golem didn't help Arbed survive, and you could maybe entertain Roshan at this point, right? You got 2 minutes left on the Golem, 60 seconds left on the Doom, so there's a relatively good window for Gaming to, poke their head into the Roche pit, as we did see that no one has a BKB yet. I would expect Gaming probably to be the ones going for it first. I would like to see Clinks and Bloodseeker sport a BKB as the clock strikes 25. We'll see if they can get there.
Not as much excitement as I thought, but, Gaimin, they are playing very deep here. Once again, they are showing their teeth a bit. And Gabby might be the target for Dracho here, but there seems to be a bit of hesitation. Instead, the tower's going to start to get smacked. Celery with his double damage rune on the Undying. My goodness.
I also really enjoyed Gabby's creep selection for his spell. This Hurricane has been so disruptive to Gaimin's initiations. And there's not a lot of stuns in play, so if you can Hurricane yourself away from the Tornado or the Cookie Jump, then it prevents Gaimin from wanting to go that extra step when they've missed their initial spell. And Quinn, he just keeps hunting. He's sacrificing his farm so much. Like, he's bottom CS on all the cores, he's got the Midas, and he's just really hoping to find that next go. As they're looking for Gabby and they're going to go for him. Again,
Such aggression, but once again, the Tornado doing the work, and now Duracho's kind of out of position here. No BKB available. The Glen, they're going to slow them down, but in comes Abed from the side, running through the three of them. Ace needs to get himself away from this Celery. He's just throwing his body at them into the mix, and with the kisses coming on over the top as well, Blacklist can't actually hold their ground. They're having to back themselves away. Abed has been left alone, and he is dead. Killed off by the zombies of Celery, and the damage from Duracho. Beautiful fight there from Gaimin.
Man, look at Celery, right? They all jump in, he throws down the tomb, pops the first golem, and he just steps up. He's like, this is my fight. Multi-hero decays, big soul rips, and Blacklist. They want to try and find someone on the retreat. Golem is now back off cooldown. Doom is available. There isn't a blink, though, for Gabby. It really relies on Gaimin giving themselves the position there, and a little bit of a misfight there from Blacklist. And it just feels like the tail of the game now.
Blacklist, yeah. They still have everything available. They still have all of their spells.
Look how cool the Hurricane is. Oh, like he just slightly disengages a bit to get away from the Clinks. And here, like, imagine if there was a Golem. Imagine if there was the Doom follow-up, but the Doom silenced the entire time. When the silence finishes on the Doom, at that point it's just Celery versus the entirety of Blacklist, while Abed's just off by his lonesome and, you know, going down to the chip damage. And I think Golem was on 18-second cooldown there. Imagine if it was up there. That would have been a completely different fight.
One really cool thing about that fight as well is, like, if you click on Ace and Quinn live, they both have well under 2k HP, right? Like, look at their health pools. But in that fight, they were both over 2k HP because of Celery buffing them up with the Soul Rip. I haven't seen that before, but that was actually really nice. Using those teammates
10 seconds of... Now that's why you need the Undying plus Sven combo, so then you can take the...
Ooh. Bonus damage. Smart.
Yeah.
Roshan, though, is being attempted here from Blacklist. Somewhat surprisingly, I would say. Gaimin, they have no idea about this. They're smoking into mid, they're smoking into the triangle, they're trying to play it slow, but all the while, Roche is going down. That said, it is not a fast Roshan. The Sunstrike is going to give it all away. Look at the move, Gaimin. They're running across the map right now. Can they get it down in time? Now, Sumi is going to pop the ulti. Everything being thrown into this Roshan attempt. Down to a quarter HP.
It's so
I don't
slow.
think Gaimin are going to make it here in time, but it's going to be so close. If I can get out a Tornado, if I can get out anything here, then it could be huge. Duracho going for the snipe on the backline first. Kiss is coming in over the top as well, but the Aegis goes down to Natsumi. He's going to grab it. Tim's is dead, but now, what do they do on the side of Blacklist?
They have to get out.
Is bail. The TPs are coming, the Sunstrike reveals, but they won't be able to cancel anything. Januel, the only one left, he's got no TP, but Gaimin will not sniff him out, so... My goodness,
Poor little
Blacklist, what a maneuver.
All right, keep this camera there the entire time. Do not let him get off camera until he leaves his tree line. Oh my God, what a play from Blacklist. Like, in that moment, under the threat, like, that is an incredible, there's so much confidence there to commit to the pit. Of course, they have the teamfight advantage with the Warlock and the Doom, but then to disengage to the south, to mass TP out, and okay, fair play, Blacklist. Like, Gaimin, they just wish they had the Tornado. They wish they had that one TP cancel. Like, they had the vision, they just didn't have the control to catch Blacklist in their retreat. Especially because CK, he didn't have Phantasm, right? That got killed off by the Mortimer Kisses. So if Gaimin could have set up an engagement into the Aegis, it's a pretty good fight for them because CK, the carry, is without his biggest damage tool. So yeah, Gaimin wished they were just a little bit quicker to the pit, and Blacklist, very, very good read there to swipe it away before Gaimin could get up into the area. No, Daniel was like, surprise, I'm here.
Oh, Quinn, he's a little slow.
You cheeky devil. Look at you, Januel. Look at you. 100%. Probably should have been dead there, but, you know. Take the dubs when you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My MVP. My king. Look at him.
Big old hat.
I don't think this is distracting at all. I think it's anything. It helps people focus on the game. Like when you get little mobile games whilst watching TV.
It's ADHD distraction in the side.
Yeah, it helps me a lot. Yeah.
Well, Ace is looking for a BKB, but Nasumi is looking for Celery here. Very aggressive indeed, but Celery does have himself the 4-staff as Duracho picks off the kill all by himself onto Abed. Kind of insane that he's able to just do this against the Angler. Like, that's wild. Like, he doesn't have an Orchid, he doesn't have anything. He's just going in with pure damage and ruining his day. The moment he uses that Swashbuckle, he jumps in.
Yeah. Gaimin, they are very close to a triple BKB timing from their cores. Klinks, of course, has one complete. Bloodseeker just completed his. And Invoker, I'd argue, you know, he's a Mithril Hammer away from his BKB, which will give Gaimin, you know, another desire to fight. But I don't think that's going to stop them. They're not afraid. With Pango dead, they're looking for another kill.
Quinn's happy to play the Sacrificial Lamb this game. He has got himself the Spirit Vessel out onto Gabby. Gabby, though, being healed up at the same time. He's just so tanky. He's got the Greaves, he's got the Pipe. Sure, he went greedy with the Midas, but now going all in on the Auras has proved pretty massive for them. And now Ace trying to TP out, but there's a lot of damage coming down with the Golem as well. He's gone. Ace is dead. Now, Abed always looking for more here, but won't be finding it. Celery going for the TP out on the tree lines. That is gonna work out for him. He gets away. Oh my god, Duracho, you
even comes back
you maniac, you lunatic. He gets away with it. Doesn't get the kill onto Tim's, unfortunately, but Sunstrike also off the mark. Tim's applying evasive maneuvers there in the river. Wow. Blacklist are just playing so well.
Yeah, they're always in position to prevent Gaming from being aggressive, from trying to make that next move. Like, how cheeky is it from Gaming to step up into the dire triangle whilst they have Aegis with all the spells available to try and go for a Doom kill? And that's a Doom who has a Greaves and a Pipe. He has Van Brace, Bracer, Wand as well. Like, he is such a tanky Doom that you're kind of like half committing on him. Like, with what, Bloodseeker and Snapfire and Invoker, but you're not really trying to kill him off. It's like you're just annoying him. And then you step up and then your BKB retreats. Like, that's not the perfect fight for Gaming. And for Blacklist, of course, they're going to take that every single time. Like, you've just jumped the tankiest guy. And yeah, just, you know, big respect to Blacklist and how they always seem to be in the right position to at least take the fight to Gaming. Been, you know, a little bit up and down, right? But still, Blacklist are not allowing Gaming to ever just take full control of the game. That's exactly what they need to do with this lineup. Tofu should be able to complete his Guardian Greaves soon, if he is to evade the multiple heroes who are surrounding him right now. Yeah.
The scary game to be a support in.
Here's the scout. Again, Golem on cooldown, but they have Blink now. Blink reveal from Doom. Can they find the Invoker? Can they find the Klinks?
Are still there for a lot of spells from Blacklist, but it doesn't stop them being aggressive here. Ace, he's going to be the target. BKB is available, but he runs himself back, and it's going to be all right for the time being. Celery drops a tombstone on the high ground. There comes a Doom out onto the Bloodseeker, but Bloodseeker got off the BKB in time to heat. It's going to be okay for the time being, and it's actually Gabby who's taking serious hits here from the Klinks. Gleipnir is there. Kiss is coming through as well. Sunstrike is off the mark despite the Gleipnir, but Gabby might just get brought down regardless. It takes so long, but they do get the kill, and now Blacklist, they want to get themselves away. Pull the parachute cord. Phantasm comes out from Natsumi, though, open to the option of returning into this fight if there is a possibility of doing so. Gleipnir comes down onto Tim's. Tim's on the side, being that target. They got to be careful, though. No one wants to get caught by Natsumi in just 100-0. And in they go. They find Tofu. Tofu should be an easy pick. Golem coming down to two of them as well, just to make sure that Tofu is absolutely dead. And he is. Abed jumps through. Doesn't really get punished too much for his role in there, thanks to that Golem protecting him. But it's a lot of commitment just for the Snapfire kill. I gotta be honest, I think Gaimin Gladiators are gonna be feeling okay about this one.
It's like, honestly, it's all good for both teams, right? Like, Blacklist are the ones that smoke up. They nearly get close to Bloodseeker, but they don't. And then Celery hits a perfect tombstone on the high ground to, you know, control the fight, to force Blacklist to disengage slightly. And then when Gaming get the confidence to chase down their opponents, Ace uses a Rupture on an illusion. So they can't dictate where and when they want to fight because they've wasted one of their bigger control spells, which gives Blacklist further entry into a fight they already were losing. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird fight from both sides, and You can see how delicate it is for either team. If Blacklist miss their big spells, Gaming can run them over. If Gaming execute poorly, don't use BKBs correctly, they will just get deleted from the game. So we are at a very, awkward crossroads where neither team is really winning nor losing. They're just kind of like equally just existing in the game right now, and we need to see one team just kind of step up and really take over the game. I'm expecting next Roshan to be that moment for either team.
It's really hard to kind of envisage how both of these teams can break these team fights because they both have such solid lines. It's just very hard to break. And not just the fact that they've got solid frontliners, but also the fact that if you do go for a kill, the kill threat is so massive that you're likely just to lose someone in response. So you never want to be jumping forward on Natsumi, or, Quinn doesn't want to be unleashing on somebody, because if you do that, then you're just going to get eaten by the CK or the Clinks on either side. So it's always a massive, massive problem. We're going to be pretty grateful to receive the shard from the Tormentor as they find Tim's here, but now they look over towards Durancio. That's a lot of damage coming down on Tim, but he's got the engulfing set to get himself away, and now stun comes through. A lot of damage onto Natsumi now as he's trying to keep himself alive. Will take down the Bloodseeker, but trades his life for it as Celery gets him gone. And now Abed has to back himself away, cannot withstand the damage of the Clays, but Quinn with a wonderful tornado catches out Abed. Now the Ice Pass down as well. Abed's not going anywhere, trying to TP out, but that's not happening. Durancio runs him down. A TP out from the Warlock will be successful, making him and Gabby the only survivors of that onslaught there. Yes, they lost Ace, but Natsumi dying in the middle of all of that was just way too much to handle.
It was a choke point fight, right? Like Blacklist, again, if you fight outside of... This is why Warlock is such an awkward hero, right? You fight with Golem, you feel like the best team in the world, right? You don't fight with Golem, it's so uncomfortable. And in that fight as well, it's a choke point. Clinks is able to rip through them very nicely. Like, he just jumps the Clinks. He's in a high ground, low ground position where he retreats back to his team, gets a nice soul rip from Celery. And look at this. Look at the damage Clinks is able to do there. And I believe Doom actually used Doom on the Bloodseeker in like the final second of his life. Like, as he died, Doom connects. Does like 200 damage. So then they don't even have Doom. It doesn't really matter. I just don't think this is a fight at all for Blacklist. Like, when they jump you like this, let your Hoodwink die. Disengage from the area. Wait for your spells to come back up. And again, it's a difficult one to call for. Like, when you're playing up against a team that only wants to run at you, you need to be able to decide in that moment, is this a fight we can really want to take? And Blacklist, they just jumped on the occasion when they weren't ready. And now their Doom and Golem are kind of out of sync once again. Gaimin, they just want to keep fighting. They don't want to stop. This is just... It's a refreshing take from some of the other games that we've had to cast. Like, this one really is like you analyze a little bit, you sit down, another fight happens.
Yeah, it's an easy job for us, that's for sure. Plenty for us to be talking about and getting on with. Almost difficult to keep up with the items and the timings everybody's hitting in this game, but we're doing our best.
Course, if you want to do a quick update, maybe?
Gaimin Gladiators, you talked about how important it is, and with this last fight being such a huge win for them, they're able to get the map control, they're able to put on the pressure and secure themselves a relatively free Aegis. Banner goes over towards Celery as well. We'll have that one to play with if they go high ground, but Blacklist, they're looking to hunt, and this might be the perfect time to catch Gaimin off guard. They just TP'd across the map, they'll look over towards the Bloodseeker. He's got the TP out though. Do they have the damage? It's a lot, and it's not enough. Oh, inside the base, maybe the Doom might be enough to take him down. Yes, it will.
Oh, if only he had the Tombstone shard. Oh, yeah, showing it as well. Nice, nice. If only Celery had the shard to then throw him into the Tombstone. Could have been something.
He's like TP back, sold a bunch of items, bought a shard, saved his life, then no, I'm throwing a Celery party.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I mean, he technically did have gold for it. Well, I don't know how actually, because it's only what, like, how long do you stay inside it again?
They just picked up a bunch of bounty runes. They would have had to sell for it.
It's a very good tool tip, it doesn't tell you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You can just stay in it forever.
Yeah. So
be in there until the end of the game if you want. Yeah, incredible shard game for the Undying. I'm actually a little surprised it picked up. Oh, there you go. Switches to it.
There it is.
Everybody collectively having the same realization at the same time.
I'm already writing it down as my interview question.
Dyer going to be quickly killed off.
Celery, did you buy shard? because your Bloodseeker died next to you in base.
Yeah.
There you go. Interview question ready. Thank you.
It's a freebie.
If they are to win, of course, they do need to win game 2. I'll prepare my Blacklist questions as well. Do not fear. Not biased here at all.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, Daniel, well, no.
Jesus. I mean, this is a daedalus desolator Clinks, right? Like, he's got one thing he wants to do and one thing only, and that is damage. And to be fair, he's doing it. That's going to be the next target here for Dyrachyo. Dyrachyo, my goodness. With the help of Quinn, with the help of Tofu, ripped through the Pangolier. Another hero dead. Blacklist, you cannot let your heroes get caught off like this. I'm actually surprised that they're not running around as 5 together, but just not respecting the threat of the Aegis Clinks.
Yeah, brief lapse of judgment, and you all just get picked off. You know, this entire game has been Clinks and Invis hunting you down, Invoker and Ghostwalk hunting you down, and then of course the follow-up from the rest of the gaming squad. And Blacklist, they have sat back for a couple minutes, which has allowed Gaimin to step up to the high ground. Luckily though, Gabby does have the Crimson Guard. They're able to delay the siege just a little bit here, as Pangolier doesn't have buyback, completing the Aghanims.
Ooh, nice little cookie there to dodge out that sharpshooter, allowing Dyrachyo just to continue doing what he loves, hitting these buildings. Entire lane of barracks now disappearing from Blacklist. The game, it was so even, it was so close, and it still is pretty close, but all this damage stacked up on Dyrachyo, and then getting him an Aegis has just put Gaimin in such a strong position. Blacklist, they kind of don't know what to do at the moment.
I mean, everything has to go so right for Blacklist to win a fight. They need to, I say it's so right, they just need to be in position as 5 in an objective area that when they use the spells, they instantly convert to pressure. But the way in which Gaimin plays, it is pretty difficult, right? I think a lot of people watching, it's like, just go as 5, guys. Just make the play. But when lanes are constantly getting shoved into you, it isn't that easy. Now, Blacklist, they are smoked up. The lanes are a relatively okay spot to maybe find a jump, but they need to find the jump. They need to use their spells in, you know, in harmony to find the
Two big
kill.
items, so Lotus Orb and Lincoln's picked up by Dyrachyo and Celery, so all of a sudden dooming something could go really, really wrong. And these are 2 fresh items which they haven't seen on the side of Blacklist just yet, so communication has to be clean. Checking the items has to be perfect, but it does look like they're not going to run into each other right now.
Dyrachyo is just forcing TPs. He just walks up to the high ground and Invis is like, hey, you don't show on the map. We are going to take your buildings. Alacrity Clinks, they do disappear.
It's completely ridiculous, but you know, down on the bottom side, we got some Pango illusions and a double siege creep. They are going to be able to take a tier 4, so sorry, tier 3.
Imagine.
It's something, I guess. Hold. Dead.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
At this point in the game, you're always kind of expecting the CK to have a blink, right? Like, of course, he's itemized a little bit more defensive with the AC due to the minus armor of Clinks and the Desolator, but it does get a little bit uncomfortable. There are some fights where having that burst potential on an Invoker or someone, if they get caught off guard, would be quite game-changing. And Tim's,
Tim's
gotta run away,
right?
Boss.
Oh, one more click. If it's a crit, he's in trouble. He goes invis. He disjoints it. Jesus, that was a lot. And now they jump in. Doom, not used. They got the purge to blink the Lincolns. Gabby's on the case. Look what in Jesus. Everybody came jumped here on this Blacklist of finding the catches, but just not able to keep him locked down as Ace. He's going really, really deep here onto the backlands. He's used that rupture onto the Bloodseeker, but Bloodseeker hasn't even used the wrong thunder yet, so he's not really too bothered. And now finally they find their target. Tofu gets caught out and brought down, but this Tombstone, it's doing work. It's giving. Wait, Natsumi, he's stuck.
Blocked.
Where is he? He's stuck. He needs some help, and he's not gonna get it. The damage is there from Dyrachyo. Oh, what an unfortunate death for Blacklist. Holy. And now, well,
they
once
use the
again, I mean, Ace
spells.
is just running around the fight 1,000 miles an hour. Dyrachyo bullying supports as usual. Januar's going to be the next target. Now they move over, they'll deal with Gabby as well. Gabby is gone. Triple kill for Dyrachyo as he rips through the fight, getting anybody he wants. With a CK taken out of the equation, it's just a little bit easy.
What a fight from Gaming, but also so uncomfortable for Blacklist, right? Gaming, the entire time they're poking, they're kind of, you know, baiting Blacklist into an area that they probably shouldn't fight. And then, like, there was no Gollum, there was no Doom. Look at this. Like, this is what I meant about the blink. The fact that CK is chasing the entire time. Sure, you grab the Snapfire, but then look at all the zombies body blocking the CK. He has to try and, you know, chunk through them, but they were just spawning quick enough to keep him pinned in. And I just think the lack of blink dagger from CK hurt this fight a lot. But also look at the top bar. No Gollum used, no Doom used until after the CK has died. I think Blacklist, they panicked in that fight. A lack of communication or something. They were chasing for kills that never really came, and then they used the spells way too late. And that is all because Gaming just baited and, you know, poked Blacklist into, you know, just wasting most of their toolkit. So yeah, incredible stuff from Gaming, but I expected so much more for Blacklist. At this stage of the game, it should be a lot easier for them to connect on their big spells.
I love how in that fight, the Bloodseeker used Rupture on a Pangolier, which hadn't used Rolling Thunder yet, and then got doomed up himself. And he just ran around the fight the whole time, pretty much. Ace is just running in, running out, you know, using Gladness and whatnot, being annoying. Didn't feel like an effective Doom usage at all.
Of course, Celery does have the shard, so we're going to be able to see him potentially make some tombstone saves, and Clinks just completed the Hex. There's a lot of pick-off potential. There are multiple Lotuses in play, right? You've got the, I say multiple, there is one. Warlock has the Lotus. So if Warlock can get a good Lotus, maybe return the Hex back to the Clinks. Unable to fight. And Natsumi now queues up the Blink Dagger.
Because there's one on Gaimin as well on Celery, so...
True.
Don't worry, you're correct. Your integrity is intact.
Hell yeah.
You get to keep your Dota analyst license in your wallet.
Oh, thank you, yes.
Ratio, moving around,
Ooh, look at
in.
this smoke on smoke.
Yeah.
They just passed each other. Look, up the steps, down the steps.
Wait, why?
They found Ace.
Ace is just very
really
far
slow.
from his team here. Might just be the target. He goes immediately for the BKB, TP away, and he is going to get out. Surprisingly so, but does survive, but still, no BKB, no TP from Ace, and he's TP'd all the way home as well, so will not be in any fight that's potentially about to start here. Don't forget, this is all about Roshan. Both teams just vying for control of this part of the map. This Roshan is respawning in the next minute.
Dire's middle tower is under
So we just
attack.
3 man goes like, oh, yes, I'm ready to fight.
Get your fly of the day. Do you think playing Dota increases your mango consumption?
I mean, like, actual
Players
mango?
don't eat fruit as they go here
exactly,
to the CK. CK plenty tanky to be able to at least live through this for now, but it's just constant roots, constant damage, constant control. He's sitting here with the BKB, but he's ruptured up, so he doesn't want to move. Now moves forward onto Tofu. Tofu, once again, that juicy target, which Natsumi cannot resist. Doom out onto Clinks, forcing him back as well. Gaimin Gladiators just looking for the reset here. They have lost Tofu, who does have the buyback. Ace is going to be a tempting target here. No BKB on Ace still. 20 seconds until he's got it, as Abed just running through the fight, giving them the vision they need, allowing the Gladiator to come through. Duracho is dead. No buyback on the Clinks, and now they're going to follow up onto Quinn as well. Both of them have been brought down. Blacklist, relentless with the chase. They don't need the ultimates. What they need is a better catch, and they find it at last. Abed doing buckets in that fight.
What a fight to win. Roshan was respawning a game and they weren't really ready, were they? I think they got a little bit baited by CK being, you know, safe. Weren't able to really turn around, and to not have buyback on the two heroes, of course, you don't really want to contest this after that fight anyway, but fair play to Blacklist. It's more like when they aren't executing, it's uncomfortable. But with these heroes, with the spells that they have, at some point it will connect. And what a time as well. Like, to get this Aegis, like this is the Aegis that Gaimin will use to go bottom, take mega creeps, and close out this game. So this was like the lifeline of a fight. And just the positioning, it just wasn't that great. Gaimin have had incredible positioning in the last couple of engagements, but, you know, Snapfire instantly dies. Gabby, you know, playing on the fringe of the fight, and then Arbed jumping in to really just punish the positioning, and yeah, here it is, just Gleipnir from Tim's. Everything was just so methodical from Blacklist, and it's taken so long for them to get to this position, but finally they found the fight. Yeah.
Heading to the high ground, 10 seconds still on the Clinks. Fortification already used. Real possibility of at least one lane of barracks here. They have tier 2s up in the other 2 lanes. Manuel's happy face make anybody's day feel brighter. But the bottom lane has gone. Blacklist, they settle the score just a little bit here. It is now 1 barrack to 2 in this incredibly exciting game number 1 between Gaimin and Blacklist. Now we gotta start looking at buybacks. They can push real fast, Blacklist, if you're not careful. Gaimin are currently very comfortable in this game. All of a sudden, really need to start thinking about the late game, about their win conditions. Not just the win conditions they have, but the win conditions which Blacklist might have as well.
It's kind of been the entire game. It is this like balancing act, and I'm very happy that we're getting to a position where it really is just like the one fight that can make it, right? Like one fight for Gaming to get mega creeps, one fight for Blacklist to shove Gaming back into their base and play on their timings. Like when you're playing with such big cooldowns, if you win a fight, you can control the map to then get to your cooldowns to be reset quick enough that you're basically winning every fight, right? Well, not winning every fight, but controlling or dictating every fight. And we've not really seen that from Blacklist at all this game. But now with the Aegis, with that previous moment of confidence, you know, the smiles from Januel we saw on the player reactions, it should give them a little bit more desire to push up. If they can take control of this triangle, clear up the tier 2s, it's a very good location to fight.
This tier 2 tower probably not going to be alive for such a long time here. Ratio still looking for a target now. I want him to highlight here, no buyback available for the Clinks if he does go down here, so very scary time to take a fight. Quinn, he has his. Ratchet does not. Ace has his. The tower is gone.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
He's 600 gold away from buyback on Clinks, yeah.
A few pings here. I mean, Dracho, is there a world where he goes for... there's a tier 2 up, never mind.
That sounds like a wild play. Yeah. No, I kind of feel like Blacklist... Yeah, let's relax. I think Blacklist, they go back, grab mid wave, walk it down mid, take the tier 2, and then they know that if they win the fight, they're pressuring for mega creeps rather than it being, okay, we're going just for top cracks. This is just like the process that you need to make.
Well, there doesn't seem to be much urgency from Gaimin here. Dracho's out on the map, just trying to farm his buyback as quickly as possible. He will have in one more creep camp.
Middle tower is under attack.
Quinn just going to do his best to annoy them as they come for this tier 2 in the middle lane. But Natsumi will not be deterred. 1 minute left on this Aegis. Not close enough to be any sort of risk for Blacklist.
Radiant are scanning.
But they're not really super committed to this tier 2 tower here, which is interesting. Finally, Natsumi will come in, deal with the Forge Spirits, deal with the tower, and they will get what they wanted.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Is
One
there
lane
buyback
of
on
barracks,
Clinks now,
2
right?
tier 2s. Yes, we do. Natsumi tornadoed up. 19 seconds. Uh-oh, Quinn, he's very out of position here. BKB is up, but he's already been doomed up. They're just going to have to get him to safety, and he is not going to be in this fight. His Celery has lost his life. Dracho being chased by Arbed here, but he'll turn around and stand and deliver onto Arbed. Oh my god, when those arrows connect, you got to be ready. Arbed really just gets taken out by a barrage of crits. But that said, nothing major really happening here. You know, a death on Celery, not the worst. Buyback available. Doom used, but Quinn survives. Gets his health back, and they're ready to reset. Gabby doesn't have a refresher orb, doesn't have a refresher shard, so...
They have one on Arbit though, so they can pass the refresher shard to Gabby if they want to take the fight. If they want another Doom, it just depends. Do they value roll over Doom?
Well, look on Quinn once again here, and he is just dead. They don't need Doom, they don't need anything. They'll just take him down. Natsumi just BKB TP's out on the high ground. Pulls parachute cord instantly. And the rest of Blacklist trying to get themselves away. Gabby, Abed, Januel on the run. No chase really coming out from Gaimin here. They don't want to have to buy back on their Invoker.
The ultra late game blink dagger pickup from CK, like we finally get to see the explosive potential this hero has, right? It's like Quinn steps up, gets hit by a bushwhack, and then surprise, CK's already on top of you, obliterating. And look at the value of the blink. He's backpacked his AC. That's how much he wants the initiation. And there's like 5,000 gold resource that he purchased quite early into the game. It's like, whatever, this isn't important anymore. Let's just go for the cheap 2,000 gold. And yeah, I expect him to backpack his treads.
Yeah.
As he's doing now. He was just moving over back to his team, but here we go. This is it. Gaimin probably going to have to use the Invoker buyback.
They want it. They want it very badly. 20 seconds on Doom. Ahmed still has that refresher. But it's a resource that they're really going to like. Nice cookie out from Tofu, but Tims catches out Tofu. Where's the Reality Rift coming out on Snapfire once again? And he is dead. The Tombstone not there quickly enough as Abed on the run here. Backing himself out. A lot of damage being taken from the CK inside that push as well. You don't want to risk Natsumi dying in that situation. Shadow Word, a couple of crits. Will heal him back up again.
Look at the minimap though. Blacklist, they're drawing the line. They want to do the smoke wraparound where they poke their heads up into the bottom taken racks. Use the fact that the racks is fallen so they can smoke into the high ground. I really hope they do this. Okay, this is my favorite smoke. I love when you take a racks and then it's like, do you think they're ready? Oh, they're not ready. And then you just break them from inside their own base.
This has to be it. Abed has the double damage. I mean, to be fair, if they lose a fight here, Roshan could potentially go to Gaimin. So there's a risk factor involved, of course.
Tims and Gabby both drew the same line here.
Yeah, Natsumi is taking the risky path, that's for sure, but doesn't get popped, so we'll be okay. And now, Duraccio, what a target to find here. They're going to jump him immediately. The Klings is in trouble. Forced off and BKB out from Duraccio as he now turns around. He's got to get some damage out. Gabby does have that Doom available because he's already used it onto the Bloodseekers. The Bloodseeker just running around the back of the fights. Not able to do a whole lot. Not the initiation you were hoping for.
Don't have a creep wave.
Ooh, no, they do not. It is coming down the bottom side. Tims trying his best to shove it in, but there is no push available. Roshan is a long respawn as well.
And now they have nothing.
Until Roshan.
And that's the type of call where if you go up that high ground, you need to be ready for your smoke to instantly pop. You have to react accordingly. But finding Duraccio, having to then combo the Lincoln's break, there wasn't a golem quickly on top, and there was just enough time for Gaming to retreat from what could have been an absolute perfect fight from Blacklist if the the cards fell differently. 120 seconds for Golem.
As well. Like Januel has to be quicker on that Golem in that situation. Like he's had a flawless game so far, but in that situation,
Dire are scanning.
You need it. It's your one easy stun to always get off your first target. But that said, Gaimin, they go smoking out. They try to see what's around. They don't really find a whole lot. And you can see Tofu, his gameplay switched up. Now that he realized that we are heading to a super late game situation, he built the Gleipnir. He's farming up every camp he sees. He's just trying to get that 25 online. Still a long way away. They're going to need to win a fight, probably, before we see it. As Tims is the one just smacking away at the high ground now. He's got himself a Gleipnir and a Lincoln, so this squirrel, it clicks. Tims is up on the high ground. My goodness.
And what is the threat of the instant jump, right? It's like there's no Hex on Invoker, there's no like Centaur, Tidehunter type off lane to go, surprise, this is our fight, right? Like there is a little bit of wiggle room for Blacklist to be cheeky in these moments. And of course, now that Gaimin are pinned into their base, like all of the advantages Gaming used to get the first 2 racks of the game was on positional advantage, right? Like kind of playing out in the open areas, forcing Blacklist to kind of spread their resources quite wide. And when you're kind of balled up into your base, it's so much easier to hit the multi-hero bonds, for Blacklist to be the team fight, winners that we expect them to be with these heroes. And now Gaimin, the lanes are in a pretty good spot. Top, mid, bot, all relatively pushed out. This is their moment to try and get back out onto the map and find something. Roshan is spawning.
Illusion rune in the river when they got out of base early with that smoke, and that's honestly like such a big rune for them to pick up. And look at this movement here from them.
Are they just going for end or
going to
what?
Respond and
hold up a second.
No. There's a fortify available.
Yeah, but
This is
even
insane.
forcing that is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's not bad if they can get out, and they do get away with it. My God.
Oh, okay. So
It's a
Blacklist is now
risky play,
one.
but it pays off. And yeah, now no fortify. You know, any fight now, which Blacklist take, they have to be thinking, all right, our lane's pushed out. Our lane's pushed out, because if they're not, Klink's going to have something to say. Tofu sees Gabby. Gabby, I'm not sure he's wanting this. He's going to get ruptured up for the time being. Gleipnir after Gleipnir coming on down. Abed's going to come rolling across. They want to bring down Tofu. There comes that tombstone, but Natsumi's going to break it open, find the squishy tree inside, and blow up Tofu. He is gone. No more Snapfire. Once again, the first casualty of the fight is Quinn's now going to be the next target. BKB's available. He runs himself away. Tornado is down. Abed wants him, but won't be able to close the gap. Pressure is available from Abed if he wants it. As Celery starts to get shot, but look at Duraccio. He's running down the middle lane. The marathon sprinter Duraccio. I don't think he's going to get here.
And Evoker's TPing as well. Are they committing to this?
Whoa, 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 Quinn! Duraccio, what are you doing here? Tims is already here looking to defend. The BKB is out. They've got the tier 4 down, but surely they can't end this game right here. I don't believe it.
They're mass TPing.
I don't think so. The Ancient, it's not even low here. They're just going, wait, he buys back. They want to do this right now. But Quinn, he's getting so low. Surely he loses life here. Aviana's feather
They go for the end.
a little bit of time here, but it's Duraccio going for the end. Holy shit! He does it. What a play. Gaimin. Holy shit, that was insane.
Do you have a super scary ball of aggression?
Indeed. Well, talking about super scary balls of aggression, Gaimin Gladiators come and running it down right now. Smoked as 5 and sprinting towards Tims. Duraccio, though, does he have the catch? Does he have the slow? I don't think he does. And takes the Watcher as well, utilizing that IO innate to just be able to instantly grab it.
30 seconds to battle.
And Quinn used the opportunity to place his ward down as well, but there is an observer here over on the Radiant side, so they have seen everybody back themselves away, and very probably will spot the ward as well.
I think this is Quinn's first Leshrac game of the tournament, so yeah. A hero he's played a lot, but a first for the group stage. This is a very gaming lineup, though. Like, when you look at these heroes, if you were to, like, hide the team names and ask other pros, you probably would say Gaimin like, easily in, like, your top 2 suggestions.
That's pretty sick, though. They, we missed it on camera, but they had a little kerfuffle where the cogs got used, but Duraccio was able to just sidestep all of the cogs and not get hit by it, so an alternative way of dealing with it. Just dance. Be a small hero. Alright, so it's going to be the Storm versus the Leshrac in the middle lane. Abed versus Quinn. Both of these players extremely experienced, both in pubs and in pro games on these heroes. So going to be fun to watch 2 specialists play it up, but I do think this is a Leshrac favored lane in general.
Yeah, there's a lot of spam. Of course, Storm Spirit thrives when you're against melee heroes, right? Being able to get the static remnant. Of course, with the static slide facet, it does help a little bit against ranged heroes, giving him a little bit more life, but I do expect this lane to start relatively even and then maybe shift a little bit more the way of Quinn. Just because of the amount of spam you can bring. You just have 2 more spells. Or 1 more spell compared to the Storm Spirit for spam.
Yeah, 1 more damaging ability. And it's also difficult for Abed to come forward and get off his overload attacks sometimes, so Quinn will definitely be taking advantage of that. Use the lightning and whatnot.
Well, this is really awkward in top lane. They've started dragging waves, but Duraccio now actually has like a double wave on top, so they've denied an entire wave away from this Koto off lane.
Yeesh.
And bot lane, we're seeing just the lane kind of pushed up. So you have one lane where Ace is getting constant creeps just thrown into him, whilst in top lane they've denied an entire wave away from the Koto. Hence why he's sitting at 2 CS 4 denies. And this is still the same lane that I was talking about, by the way. It's the same lane they're still holding here to try and further deny more XP away from Blacklist.
Well, top lane definitely off to a worrying start for Blacklist there. We'll see if they're able to stabilize it at all or not. Januel, meanwhile, trading with Tofu down on the bottom side. As bottom lane gets started in earnest, we'll see some links coming out from Natsumi. Januel not able to do a whole lot to help out. I mean, could throw out an enchant onto the link target to try and get a little bit more damage out of them, but overall we just want to see Januel grabbing himself a ghost. Although, maybe looking to pull instead. Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the big reasons which Dyrachyo and Celery are pulling this lane around, as well as denying XP from the Coddle. Oh, sorry, Tim's actually doing the pulling. Yeah, it's due to the kill threat. Like, you want to at least get a point in rebound before Dyrachyo and Celery can really start getting up on Gabby. Because Gabby, he's a very fast hero, he's a ranged hero, he plays pretty far away from the waves. So, in terms of actually getting the kill, it might be kind of difficult. But down at bottom side, it is Natsumi that ends up taking a step too far forward. He gets killed off by Ace and Tofu.
He just stepped up a little bit too far. He had stick available, but with the bushwhack, with the root, yeah, he was dead either way, and that's not what you want to see. I guess because of the healing style of Ench, like Ench isn't really like, sure, you're preventing yourself from dying, but if you're not next to your Razor, I just think you have to be very careful. That is the annoying thing with Hoodwink. You always have to respect that at any minute, Hoodwink will combo you to low HP. And clearly, there was a disconnect between the Ench and the Razor, preventing Natsumi from being healed up and protected.
Yeah, Januel trying his best to be a damage sponge and trade up into the Hoodwink, but he also knows that the moment he uses this heal, it's then going to be 20 seconds where he can't really trade into Tofu really easily, so it's a trade-off. Want to keep it as long as possible, but also not get caught out and get killed off. 4-minute runes are spawning here, and everybody's coming in for this one. Tim's is moving across. Tofu's here as well. Water rune will be secured for both of the mid laners, I think.
It's kind of a Gaimin, they want to try and set up Dyrachyo for as much success as possible, because you want Celery to move to Leshrac as relatively early. Like an IO Lesh in this kind of portion of the game, you're invading stacks, you're preventing Storm from farming up. Like Storm, even though you're a spirit hero, you kind of don't make early moves unless the active rune falls into your favor. Other than that, you are just farming jungle, trying to be as efficient as possible. Of course, if they're close to your tower, a TP will present itself.
Once again, down in the bottom side, getting jumped. They've got a lot of damage, but not quite enough to finish the job. Blood Grenade won't do it. So, Tofu and Ace, they will be left empty-handed this time around, but still a good amount of damage dished out to this Razor, forcing him to get back and salve up. A really brutal combo, but luckily Januel was able to come in this time, throw in a bit of Nature's Attendance as well, just to make absolutely sure the Razor did survive. I guess that's an interesting thing about overprotective wisps as well, is that you can jump into these big AoE spells and you'll start getting some extra wisps to throw in a bit of extra healing onto your teammates, so not just good for you, but good for your teammates as well. Top side, jump in onto Gabby. Gabby, I think he might just be dead here. Dead to get a little too close to the Marcy and the IO.
Ooh, and actually we didn't really cover this. So actually he went for the bodyguard facet. Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, so because he's a carry, he's always going to be able to press on himself. Couldn't actually know getting jumped in mid lane.
Yeah, Januel and Arbed on the case right now with his Hellbear Smasher helping out as well. Quinn is going to lose his life. Can they get any revenge? I don't think so. I think Tofu has actually just thrown his body into the mix as well, and will also be falling down here. Nice moves across from Januel and Tims as Blacklist start to pressure that Quinn mid.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Wow. Good stats across the board for Arbed, of course. After a kill, it's always going to feel pretty good, but also leading in CS as well, so was doing well up until this stage as well. And Quinn gonna TP back in on this one. He's got Celery behind him as well. Knows how strong he can be with this IO, but are we overestimating just a little bit? Arbed is low, will be falling. Quinn looking for more here. Running down Januel. Dyrachyo comes across as well, and it's a double kill for Quinn. Very nicely done by Gaimin Gladiators, baiting Blacklist in, thinking they can go for another kill on to Quinn here, but absolutely not the case as Celery comes sliding through.
Yeah, on top of that, Dyrachyo joins in the fight as well, and I think that is just kind of proof of what's to come with this Gaimin Gladiators lineup. Like Dyrachyo getting the bodyguard facet, providing armor to his ally, because again, without this facet, you don't gain armor from your sidekick, or technically it's called bodyguard now. But with this one, you do. So you're going to be able to provide armor, when he's close to heroes, if his ally gets attacked or does the attacking, he will also throw out a punch as well if he's in range. It is on a 0.45-second cooldown though internally, so it does prevent like super high attack speed heroes from just getting Marcy to go, you know, god mode on the enemies. But you know, because I imagine like Snapfire little shredder with this would be insane. Like just what, 6 quick Marcy punches? Yeah. So there is an internal cooldown to fix that, but we don't see it often. But in these types of lineups, like the bonus armor, the kind of the grouped fighting you're gonna see, I expect Dyrachyo to be very active, and already look at him. 8 minutes into the game, he's moved middle. He's now twin gated bottom. Will they find Natsumi?
Fantastic read by Natsumi though. They actually scanned the enemy gate, so they knew Dyrachyo was coming down. They knew that he wanted to make some moves with his level 6, and yeah, read perfectly. And gets Natsumi out of here safely. 8 minutes in. Pretty even game so far, despite the action we've seen from Gaimin Gladiators. You know, Blacklist have made some good plays of their own. And they've taken a middle tower as well. So, Abed, he's very, very happy on the Storm Spirit. He can be the one leading from the front, making the plays. Januel kind of tempting Gaimin to go after him here a bit. And they will be able to catch him, narrowly catching him out there with that bushwhack. And, well, that's a dead Bambi. Januel goes down, Dyrachyo gets his second kill and starts to kick things up into gear on this Marcy. Quinn meanwhile looking to maybe chase a little bit at Natsumi there, but doesn't really commit to it.
Does make me chuckle. Dyrachyo's quick buy as an observer and a sentry. Like, he's so active, he's convinced himself he's also maybe a roaming support. Look at him. He's getting ganked a bit.
Yeah, just a little. Soulbind comes through, but oh, there you go. Have a gate. Get yourself out of there. But Alberto pulls him out from the clutches of the Abyssal Portal. And, well, Quinn comes across. Celery's here. Tofu arrives as well. The cavalry have come. Everybody on the side of the Gaimin Gladiators turns up to keep their carry alive. Jump away from Arbet, though. Doesn't look like they'll be finding a whole lot here. Quinn trying to run down Januel. They won't cancel the tether, so the pony gets TP'd out. And Ace might have to think twice about coming too far forward here. Is Blacklist, they're in the neighborhood, and they're looking for some kills. Ace being jumped, stuck inside those cogs as Arbed goes on the backline, looking for Dyrachyo. Huge plays coming out here from Arbed and Januel as they go for the backstab, get the carry, as well as bringing down Ace on the front as well. Blacklist outmaneuvering the IO combo beautifully.
Yeah, disengaging as soon as they see the Fiend's Gate, they relocate. It's like, you know, take a step back, breathe, understand the situation, and when the relocate then leaves again, then you commit. And yeah, beautiful stuff there from Blacklist. They need to be careful, because when Gaimin are all enforced together, they are so scary. When they're disconnected slightly, that's when you jump.
And they have plenty of it here, and they're just going to run straight past and look for the Invis rune, but beautiful bushwhack found by Tofu. Abed, he needs to schmoof here, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to do so. Dyrachyo running him down. Arbed desperately trying to get some mana back. 150. Will it be enough to get him out of here? Gets him just about out of the cogs, but Tofu with another bushwhack stays on him. Arbed still being chased, and Dyrachyo gets on top. There it is. The rebound comes through. Tim's just gets himself out now. But that will be a nice response from Gaimin now as well. It's extensions punishing extensions in this game so far. Very active from both teams once again here.
I just don't really see the point in why Arbed's going for that rune. Doesn't matter though, they're jumping onto clock.
It's about pride, T-Gov, as Tim's getting rather low. Will just about survive. Dyrachyo also not super healthy on the side, but it's Januel who's being punched in by Quinn right now. And now looking across towards Gabby. Gabby also gone. That rebound is doing huge amounts of damage. The max rebound build paying off massively time and time again. I knew Dyrachyo was going to be active, but this is just crazy. As he says, he's cosplaying a support who's now buying a Battlefield. Okay, never mind, scratch that. But still, he's been everywhere.
This is exactly what you want to see from a core Marcy. Like, get the max rebound, play for the team, you know, amp up the aggression, what they can bring, and they do. Nearly
Timothy gets out.
Right, I'm loving the play from Gaming. It's just very, you know, sweeping motions throughout the map. If a hero gets jumped, don't be afraid to Fiend's Gate. Don't be afraid to just throw out the relocate and just get the game going. And it's also kind of a product of having this Ench, right? There's a stolen tier 1 neutral. That's going to be quite nice. But like when I look at Enchantress in these fights, there's no threat. right? It's not like you got 3 points in the Impetus. You're not like pressuring. It's just like, hi, look at me, don't kill me. You know, it's like you just exist, and that is maybe what Gaimin is leaning on right now. It's like there isn't that kind of like the Warlock level 6 threat from the previous game. There's not that kind of X factor that the 5 can bring. It really is on the positioning of the other heroes to excel. And also don't fall to the Ench positioning bait, where you see an Ench, you kill him, and then suddenly the Storm or the hook shot from the Clockwork layers on top of you. Gaimin 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, this is deep
Trying to
here
get a
from
pick,
Blacklist. I'm very surprised by the aggression being shown by them right now. Gabby's going to pay the price. Meanwhile, Tims has been able to move away, but there's a Fiend's Gate coming on through. Ace looking for the target here, sets his eyes onto Tims, and the gate does connect. The pit is there. Tim's going to slow them all down with a rocket flare with 5 heroes chasing him. This is a dead Clockwork. They will dismantle Tims as they are punished, and rightfully so for that. I mean, that was just a crazy deep dive there. What were you expecting, Blacklist, honestly?
Probably this result, 9 times out of 10. That was, yeah. To move in, like, Kotal's quite, it's not the most burst damage, right? Like, you need to, like, wind up your Illuminate. You need the Soulbind to hit with the Vessel, +1, and then you kind of need, like, probably 2 of them to get the big kill. Like, just to be clear, he does do burst damage, but not in the instance of trying to kill a Marcy with Rebound, right? Like, you kind of need 2 heroes plus a Kotal to do that, and
it needs to
they just didn't have the heroes. Yeah. Like, Kotal loves playing on other heroes to bring his damage, and Storm Spirit, oh, 300 HP, nearly died. Tofu's here as well.
Yeah, Tofu, you know, he hasn't missed a pushback on this Storm yet, but he will do now. Arbed gets himself away, still had a little bit of mana left in the tank for a zip. So Tofu won't be able to finish the job on that kill. Nevertheless, more pressure being put onto Arbed. He's going to go back and farm some Ancients before he returns to base, but return to base he shall.
And this is the shift of play that we expected, right? Like, the IO is now playing with the Leshrac. The Hoodwink was kind of in the area of the Marcy, so they are playing a super wide map. But at any minute, 5 heroes will collapse at the same location, right? Like, Underlord is on the opposite side to Leshrac and IO. And this is exactly what you want to do with these heroes. Like, you can tell that these are, you know, the specialty gaming heroes, because there hasn't been a single minute of the game yet where you felt uncomfortable with, like, why are these 2 cores in the same location? Like, they are ensuring that every move is just, you know, pressuring Blacklist in some way. And we can maybe look at the upcoming items for Blacklist. You've got the Mage Slayer complete from the Razor. That'll give a little bit of tankiness. And again, just actually just poking Arbed here, forcing him to use just an unnecessary amount of mana to survive, and just gets out. Here it is. Tofu was also in the area to maybe cancel the TP. You'd expect the Blacklist to maybe want to go for a fight though, right? Like, you got Mage Slayer complete, you got Witchblade complete. Like, these are 2 pretty impactful items for the kind of the early portion of the game.
Yeah, Mage Slayer on the Razor. That is very interesting indeed.
You do decent damage with your toolkit, so just survive.
Sure. I mean, it makes sense. You link up the pony, now all of a sudden you're not just taking damage from him, but you're also reducing the damage he outputs in spell form as well, so yeah, does make sense. Januel gonna be a sacrificial lamb here as Natsumi and Gabby debate whether they want to follow up on this, and the answer is very obviously no.
Oh, really?
They'll back themselves away for now, but over on the sidelines, Arbed is just, every time he goes out on map, he's just being forced to zip 1,000 miles away. Once again, being caught here a little bit. Gabby's gonna be able to shacker him up, but yeah. Pressure on Arbed is ridiculous. I don't know how to keep finding him.
The last, what, 3 or 4 kind of big zips have just been, like you said, just running away from the engagement. And now there's going to be a Leshrac with a bottled regen rune while smoked up. This will be a reveal whilst they cover smoke. Can Tofu find Gabby? He is hunting. Ward and Atos.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Atos comes out. In comes the split earth. Damage comes in. And Gabby goes down. Beautiful play there from Tofu, catching out the right target. Coin and Celery following up on that as well, as a pressure just gets a little too much to handle. 4 and 12 is the scoreline with a 4k gold advantage for Gaimin Gladiators at the moment. We've seen them play this combo thousands of times at this point, but still, Blacklist are not ready for it. And to be fair, in this meta, we haven't seen it a whole lot, so it's a nice blast from the past here. But boy, is it working well.
Yeah, this is just one of those drafts. The way that you play it out is, you know, from beginning to end, if you are able to just not make a mistake, it is like a clean 30-minute game, and we like I said, we just don't see them too often. But apparently, Gaming are doing all the motions necessary to get themselves to that position. And another jump onto the Storm Spirit. Forced off though.
Did they break the tree with Ace? I'm not too sure, but either way, they've locked him down. The damage is in. Quinn, he's got to be a little bit careful. The Mage Slayer is on top of him, but it doesn't matter. Abed's dead regardless. Dracho, he has the damage. He's got the Battle Fury, but now Solar Bind plus the Spirit Vessel upon him. Dracho's got to be a little bit careful here and keep his distance. But that said, Gaimin are playing it beautifully. Another jump in from Dracho and jump out again as Gabby does go down to the Acorn. Took too much work. Natsumi still causing them issues here with the Storm Surge, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. The lump, which is Gaimin, gets on top of him and brings him down. And now they look for more. Another target has been found here on the side of Januel. Despite being under a tier 2 tower, it doesn't make a difference when there's 4 heroes pulling you apart. Januel's gone as well. 5-man team wipe for Gaimin Gladiators. Blacklist cannot put a fight together against this team.
That's just beautiful to watch, right? The layers of aggression, the cheap items that they have in play. You've got like the Glimmer on the IO, paired with the use of the Leshrac to have further setup. They keep finding Arbet that this Storm Spirit is not initiating fights or re-initiating. He is the one having to disengage every single time. And the fact that he's dying to like the Atos here, the jump of a Marcy, it is making the game so difficult. But like they're all low HP, but just the amps from Celery keeping Quinn active, Tofu always finding the bushwhacks, and then as soon as they understand that the damage has kind of nullified a little bit for Blacklist, then they pounce as a swarm, finding the heroes and just getting a wipe. And I expect this to be the case until we get a BKB on the Razor, maybe a BKB on the Storm Spirit. It is going to be a difficult kind of portion of the game. This offlane Kotl has done nothing for Blacklist. He is sitting at a 1-5 scoreline. His laning was just, not the best of what we expected. He wasn't able to pressure Marcy, and he's going to be dying again.
They just jump him in the middle lane. The hero is just too slow. Like, it can't shove waves and get out. It can't survive against this onslaught. Admittedly, like, Quinn is so giga farmed right now that anybody's going to die to him, but yeah, coming into the middle lane, pushing that target under the dire vision, always going to be a recipe for disaster. Storm once again. Oh man, Heartbed's game. It's very, very sad indeed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bloodstone out now for Quinn. If you thought he was a problem before, it's gonna be an even bigger one now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under
Let's
attack.
not forget as well the Fireman also being a pretty awesome innate ability as well.
Radiant's
Got to give him
bottom
loads of
tower
extra
is
AoE on
falling.
Split Earth, on Pulse Nova.
Dire's top tower
Even on
is
the
under
Edict a
I'm
bit.
trying to find some hope for Blacklist, but I just keep looking at all the items of Gaming, and it's like, damn, they're so strong.
They've even found the Holy Locket on the IO as well, so extra burst healing coming through. That's going to be an issue. They got multiple Atoses to give the Storm problem. Storm, he's a long way off BKB. In fact, is he really going to go for the Eternal Shroud this game?
We're seeing all the items, right? We've got Locket, Glimmer on Io. We've got soon BKB on Marcy. Bloodstone, Yules, Kaya, and a Plate Mail on Quinn. Plate Mail's come out on Courier. Pipe on the Underlord. Double Atos, like you mentioned, with a mech as well. Like, they have all the items possible to win the early game. And we didn't even bother talking about Blacklist because they don't have anything to compare. They got triple 4-star and soon double BKB. It's like, just saying the comparison, it's like, what, you've got 3 repositioning tools versus just innate tankiness and ability to remain in a fight. It is a night and day difference right now, the items they bring into the game. It's 21 minutes in, a 13,000 gold lead to Gaming, 14 kills as well.
Arbed somewhat terrifyingly had Eternal Shroud queued up for quite a while, but did just pivot back to, just to hit the amount of gold he needed for it, he pivoted back to BKB. Thank God, because the amount of roots, the amount of damage, but that said, Marcy maybe a step too far forward here, but immediately once again, Feeds Gate comes out from Ace, looking for the target, and that target is going to be Gabby. Gabby baited into his demise here by the Storm Spirit, and Duraccio brings him down. You dare come for me if you come for the king. Well, you better not miss.
illusion.
Didn't even have the damage to kill her a lone Duraccio all by himself, pre-BKB as well.
Yeah, just came out to him there on the courier, so
Yeah.
it would have been an excellent time to get the kill, but they just couldn't commit to it. I mean, if you could make that same play with your clockwork in the neighborhood as well, maybe an inch to throw out impetus, then it looks so much better. But then if you don't have heroes on map, then probably Duraccio is not showing there. Quinn feeling very, very strong, as he should. Shield rune, Bloodstone, Yules, Plate Mail. What are you going to do to this guy? 15k net worth at 22 minutes into the game. The IO is richer than the Kotl, T-Gov. How does that even happen?
It kind of helps when you take 6 towers.
6 towers, 1-0-15 also probably helps out. It's a pretty nice scoreline for an IO to have. Hook shot in. They're looking for ace. I mean, maybe they'll give up the ace kill here, which is sad. We were close to a number, but nevertheless, ace goes down, and the Aegis will be grabbed by Quinn. And Januel dares to show up to them right now. Duracio's going to pop the BKB, but he's still linked up by Natsumi. He's got to be a little bit careful here. Doesn't have the Aegis on the Marcy. Storm jumping through onto the backlines, trying to get on top of Salary right now as Duracio just unleashes a couple of hits here onto Januel, but he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. There's no help coming his way, but that said, damage coming in from the sidelines. They've got him out of there with the relocate. Salary saves the day, and I don't think they're leaving this IO behind. Everybody's TPing across. Blacklist, they respect it. They get themselves out. It will just be the Underlord death, and that is it for now.
That was so close to Blacklist. Being down like 15,000 gold, maybe they could have done it, but no one prioritized Celery in that fight. When they saw the Master in low HP, no one went to go investigate for the IO behind. Of course, that you'd already seen the Tether. They knew the Tether was in play, but they just didn't get that lockdown to prevent the relocating. If they, stunned him up, killed the Marcy, then killed the IO, Leshrak then having to run back from, that defensive position he went to, that's a pretty good W for Blacklist, but it just wasn't able to be their fight. And it is so difficult under how much pressure they've been in. When they finally get a moment, it's very easy to kind of blunder in that situation. And Gaimin, they don't care. They reset.
Januel, no.
Straight back
He's
in.
not even safe inside his own base. Oh, the humanity. Don't do it to him.
Very
Live
methodical.
reaction there as Quinn murders a position 5 once again.
Gotta wait for the creep wave though before they can hit down this tier 3, but they still have the Aegis. They didn't lose anything in the attempt of a fight from Blacklist.
Cog's not quite good enough.
They're actually just jumping into a
Cog.
Cog.
Get bounced. Alright. Never mind. Cog's alright. But not enough to save the tower, at least for now. Edict ends. Ace is still nearby with a ton of damage, but fortification is going to come in. Hook shot in from Tim's, just holding back Ace. Once again, they're looking at the Underlord. They know they're not really going to get tethered up here, but oh, Celery actually forced in here. That was cute. That was nice. Is it enough to get the kill here? I think so. 2 heroes dead on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. They've only traded it for their Enchantress, but Tim's is going to fall as well on the front lines as Duraccio punches his head in. They might have to get themselves back now on Gaimin Gladiators, though. They don't have their battery. They don't have their TP response, but do they care? Duraccio jumps forwards, but once again out there now with a BKB takes down Duraccio as well. Gaimin punished, and now they want to finish the job. Blacklist on the run. Natsumi chasing onto Quinn. Quinn sure he's got an Aegis, but what do they care? Nice little bushwhack coming out from Tofu. Tim's still trying to catch here, but can't quite get in range for the power cogs. The whip is down. The damage is in. The hook shot is there. They'll force back Tofu. Tofu might be the next one on the shopping list for Blacklist. Tofu, he's gone. It's going to be another target for Blacklist here. 4 heroes dead, and Quinn, all he can do is watch. There is no reasonable expectation for him to jump in on this at the moment. He just has to back himself away and sit there, Aegis in hand.
Got a little bit excited, right? They have the Aegis on Quinn. They can chip down the buildings with the Edict, but Ace steps up to the high ground. We are going to see the replay here. Ace steps up. They're going to still hit throughout the glyph. He then disengaged with the hook shot from Tim's, using the cogs to also push him just a little bit further back. And I think the blinding light from Gabby, I hope we see at the tail end of this highlight, is the key thing here. Of course, Celery, he tethered in to try and help out, but just... where is it? I think it's in the round 2. It's a very long fight. It's a really long fight. Hold a second. It's going to be coming up in a second. Dyrachyo, they try to... Okay, here it is. They reinitiate, and as Dyrachyo jumps in, boom! Blinding light. And just pausing that with the ult in play. Of course, Arbit's done BKB, but just preventing Dyrachyo from connecting on that stun to maybe layering was just exactly what we needed. And, you know, Gabby, he's had a very, very quiet game, but in that position, Gaimin just completely squandered their Aegis and, yeah, got punished. So props to Tims, props to Gabby. They really, you know, stepped up in this fight to just look at the net worth as well. It was like 15, 16k. Now it's back down to 10. A really, really good hold from Blacklist. Like, look how despair the game was into just clutch spell usage.
Yeah. Despair, 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 going downhill, then all of a sudden, the glimmer of hope for Blacklist. But Quinn looking to snuff it out, sets eyes on Gabby, trying to run him down, but don't forget, Kotl is such a fast hero. They can't close the gap. Ignis used as well. That's the Aghanim's reveal for the Kotl. He's going to TP himself away. Blinding Light was always going to be a huge spell this game. The problem is you just don't want to level it up early. Chakra Magic and Illuminate are far too important for getting Kotl online as a hero to help him get farm, especially when you're that far behind. So we haven't really seen it in play yet, but there we see it in the big fight. Huge impact. It's one of the reasons they picked Kotl.
Yeah,
although
Dyrachyo, they are getting to a point.
January. Oh, never mind.
Kinda did. He checked it, but didn't fully check it. I'm saying, like, you know, props to Blacklist though. They, even though the game's been very difficult, the amount of moves Gaimin have made, it has offered up opportunity for Blacklist to, you know, sneak out some farm, right? You know, Razor just completed the Sanjin Yasha. The Storm's got a Parasma. You've got, you know, relatively soon a Crimson Gun or Clockwork. Like, we praise Gaimin in their kind of 23, 24-minute item timings. But then when we compare it to, like, as we hit the 30-minute mark for Blacklist, like, they themselves have been able to find quite decent items across all of their heroes now. Especially when we were worried about their triple 4-star timing, right? It was triple 4-star timing into actually now some substance.
Is there a point where this game in draft falls off, like last game, where they ended up having to do some silly things to keep themselves in a winning position?
I would argue yes, but more on if Marcy doesn't itemize like for Daedalus and to be a right clicker, Leshrac naturally always fall off when BKBs and magic resistance comes into play, right? So I think Gaimin's draft only falls off if Dyrachyo doesn't itemize to continue being high physical damage and position correctly to execute heroes. And of course, Blacklist, how bad their early game was. They'll scale at any portion of this game. Anything's more than nothing.
Dyrachyo, is he the target they want? Is he the target they need? They're going to go on in BKB very quick from Dyrachyo here, but can he jump himself out? He's not jumping out at all. He's standing his ground. He's getting the punches off, but now he's going to back himself away. The whole of Gaimin sticking to the high ground here, not looking to come down and meet Blacklist in the river, especially with Arbed with the Arcane Rune looking for a target to pounce on. Now they'll move across, but they're leaving their backlines undefended, and Storm goes in, but a beautiful pushback from Tofu keeps Dyrachyo alive. Dyrachyo up onto the higher ground, pushed around like a ragdoll, can't stay on his target. Everybody's solo. Finally, Ace will fall. Dyrachyo looking on trouble as well on the top lines as well. Gabby finds him, takes him down. Arbed's there as well. They'll lose Dyrachyo. Can they get anything from this on the side of Gaimin Gladiators? Natsumi, he's got no health left, but is it going to matter? Tofu taking big old smacks from the low ground. Quinn is back from the dead with his IO to try and get something out of this. And the Kotl is going to be that hero, and the 4-staff won't be enough to save him. He does go down, but that is the only casualty for Blacklist here. Insane.
Really, really good fight from Blacklist. Was constantly poking out Gaimin. You asked about if Gaimin are going to fall off slightly, and we kind of saw it there, right? The Marcy wasn't able to perfectly commit in that engagement. The Leshrac wasn't really pumping out a lot of damage, and it is testament to Storm always finding the picks, Clockwork, you know, initiating the fight and being able to disengage, Razor being tanky with his item build. Like, look at it, SMY, Mage Slayer, BKB. Like, Razor just wants to exist. So, yeah, the Blacklist, you know, slowly clawing back in this game. You know, all because Gaimin just fumbled one high ground siege at the bottom side. If they didn't fumble that, they probably would have a little bit more confidence to you know, reset, go again. But Blacklist showing something. They're showing mechanical ability. I don't know where I was going to go with that one, boss, but yeah.
Tenacity is what they're showing.
That's the word. Tenacity. Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, these are SEA players, all right. They've had lower lows than this. Still in it, still ready to play up into these guys, and will never, ever back down.
Sorry, look at that smoke. It's hilarious. You're like, they're never going to back down. They walk up the high ground, instantly back down. Oh, God, it's the left track. Run away, run away. Oh, no, I don't want to be there.
Thank you. Oh, let's not ignore the fact that Gaimin's still in a very good position in this game. Nullify now finished up for Dyrachyo, so getting on top of these targets with their pesky 4-stars and bouncing aroundness is all of a sudden going to be a lot easier. Dyrachyo, Quinn, Celery, looking for something here. They do take this fight. Tofu will not be able to join them unless he goes and hangs out with Ace, who has got that Fiend's Gate, and that's exactly what the call is going to be. So these guys are just going to stick around together. The Slug and the Squirrel. Taylor Zola's time. Inside the pit, there is a Centaur there, monitoring things for the Radiant. Januel knows that's the next big objective, which they're going to want to be taking. 24 seconds left on it as well. Dyrachyo's like, maybe if I move it outside of the pit, he won't notice and we can sneak Roshan. Nice try, I guess. Imagine if that works. Anyway, Roshan's starting to fall. Dyrachyo, though, just kidding. Smoke out, run out. This could be good from Gaimin, but the Rocket Flare's going to reveal everything. They'll see Gabby, nice glimmer coming out as Januel's going to be absolutely blasted on the front lines. Dyrachyo has to get out. That link cannot stay upon him, but Gabby, his days are numbered. That number is 0. Now the look at Tim's as well. Quinn, he's going to turn around for the main target. They want to bring down Natsumi here instead, and Natsumi with another fire upon him cannot do a thing. He's gone as well. 4 dead. They cannot catch Abed. Abed will get away, but a huge fight for Gaimin. This is how it was meant to look, and as we know with this team, they're not going to stick around for Roshan if there's buildings to be taken. Nope, they are coming up onto the Blacklist high ground right now.
In Blacklist, they tried to step up. They tried to, hold aggressive position, but there is no way to start a fight like this. You have the double 4-star to go back. You got the what's it called? The Will-O-Wisp are like panic in the moment. The Will-O-Wisp to try and control the fight, but it doesn't matter. This BKB, Quinn picks up the BKB, runs through them. Like Blacklist, the reason why they were winning out fights was because they had like really good just poking, waiting, biding their time, dragging the heroes of gaming to be very, wide and not in just a condensed ball. But that was probably one of the worst fights Blacklist could have taken.
Going for the third fortification is available, but after last game, Blacklist don't want to use it, but they don't have a choice if they want to stay in this game. But I don't think it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. The push is too strong. It's too much, and GG is called just like that. They back out. They realize that Mega Creeps is just too much for them to handle. Well, I said, they've got the tenaciousness, but they also know when it's over, and over it was. My God, Gaimin, I mean, all it took was one fight in the end. All it took